Hey, back again, making another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 video. I'm here making a video to pretty much inform y'all the actual truth about a particular Super Soul that has been overhyped. People with the making say it's the best Super Soul, and honestly, it's stretched out proportions. I will show y'all a Super Soul that is much better than the Don't Think I'm the Same as Before Super Soul. Don't get me wrong, I love Don't Think I'm the Same as Before Super Soul for a lot of reasons. For example, it can give you a 20% increase in damage reduction once your health is at 25%. But every time when your health is at 25% and then that thing deactivates, it's now only 15%. Right, I just want y'all to know that. So 20% for when you first activate it when you're 25%, and when that buff, and that buff is only temporary, right? Before it goes to 15%. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's a great Super Soul. But for Namekians, I have to say it's quite garbage. Because you could have been doing a lot more shit. But the reason why I say it is garbage, literally, is because it honestly is garbage for Namekians. That Super Soul I could see benefiting the Majin Cax, the male Majin specifically, being so much more better for it. Because you know how squishy they are. Don't act like they ain't squishy. They're very fucking squishy. And that Super Soul will take care of that squishiness pretty much when they have zero stamina. And if y'all don't understand my CAC, if you have been paying attention to any of my builds on this universe for Namex, I got the Ultimate Namekian build, the Demon Canyon build, and now the Ultimate Demon build, which combines them two. First, as you can see here, max health is 200, max stamina is 20, strike supers and key blast supers are 101. And I use the Namekians are my main. I don't know if y'all can tell, but it is my main. I have played this game for ever since it first came out, and I know what I'm talking about when I see shit that is stretch out proportion. And since this is my main, obviously I know what's best for this CAC. The CAC is really great for damaging and defense. So capitalizing on both of those margins and making it the best it could possibly be. Pretty much like how Elderkai unleashes Gohan's inner potential, I am unleashing the inner potential of my Namekian in this game. So first, do or die, right, which give you a 10% damage reduction for 30 seconds. Very decent. And you can use this while someone is attacking you, but it would take stamina, but it will blow them back pretty well, actually. And then Potential Unleash gives you a 5% damage reduction permanent. Well, it gives you a 5% damage reduction for when you're using Potential Unleash, which is technically, if you're using it for the whole entire match, then it's pretty much permanent. But so combining Potential Unleash, that 5% increase with the 10% increase from Do or Die, that's 50% damage reduction right there. Now, don't think I'm saying before, after when that temporary 20% damage reduction buff is gone, it's 15%. So you're pretty much already achieving that super sword right there. And if you would have put the 15% with 20%, that only happens temporarily, you pretty much will have a 35% damage reduction, which is good on paper. But that Super Soul has a lot of cons on the Namekian. See, the thing about the Namekians is that they can regenerate health. When they get to that red bar, they will start regenerating health. And when they fully regenerate, that it is not 25% anymore. It's above that. Which you have to keep in mind. People can abuse the Super Soul and make it a go work against you, where it's pretty much useless. How that happens is that someone can purposely one tap your health to trigger it and let the health regenerate, so then it will kick you out of that 20% damage reduction. So now you only have the 15 damage reduction, which is not bad. It's just that when you're at that 25% stage, it's either you're going to pull off the biggest comeback season ever, or you're just going to fuck over. 60% of the Mechian players will fuck over. I know that from experience. I really hate these fucking content creators like Chin Chan, Steve Doge, for stretching the Super Soul out of proportions. It disrespects me because I'm a Namekian main. I have been playing with Namekian characters ever since X Universe 1. And Namekians are my favorite race. I hate how people are able to make cheesy builds out of it. But as a Namekian player, understand why it's like that. Because Namekians, simply, when they're at level 120, they're pretty much a fucking beast. They're pretty much very hard to kill. And if you were to do my demon build, you understand why they're pretty much, you know, very overpowered. Now, to be honest with you, they're not hard to kill. Every single race is not that very hard to kill. No matter where they're 120 or 200, they still are easy to kill. Right, if you just know how to counter them. And for example, this cat can be countered. But it depends on how good you are to play this cat with this build setup that I built. And if you're really good, you might become god tier with this build and setup. Right. And that's why you need the actual truth of shit. This Super Soul, right, as a Namekian main, I will not recommend this Super Soul whatsoever. It's just not worth it. That 15% damage reduction is not worth it. Yeah, it gets a 20% temporarily, but that's only lasts for like how long? 15 seconds? Not worth it. And when someone can easily abuse it, where they can one tap you, wait for that health to regen, where it's over 25%, you will never get that 20% back again. It's gone. It's just not worth it. This DLC this DLC Super Soul is not fucking worth it. I don't understand why people still fucking use it, even though there's that. I guess they're brain dead from all the Chit Chan, Steve Doge, and all those fucking content creators blowing the Super Soul out of proportion, like always. because they clearly don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They don't have the same experience and knowledge that I do unless they put actual testing on paper and on game recording. That is when I will only say they know a damn thing or two about shit. This Super Soul is the most outblown proportional Super Soul there is in this game. And it's understanding right. The apples that it shows you, it's very tempting. But remember, those big red apples that is promoting may not seem what it's always going to be. This Super Soul is one of them. You'd be thinking it'd be great on the mech end, but like I said, someone can just one tap your health and wait for it to regen back, and when it regen back where it's not red anymore, it's above 25%, and that kicks you out of the Super Soul. Not good. As a Namekian player, you may be wondering, what Super Soul do I recommend then? I will recommend this Super Soul if only you're using Beast. If you're using Beast, this Super Soul is great with Beast. Fuck, you should have seen the videos what I did with that Super Soul equipped on. It is absurd how much damage you can push out of the Namekian. But so now let's go towards the Super Soul I recommend for the Namekians, and that is better, way much better than Don't Think I'm the Same as Before. It is time to dismantle you androids. When health is below 50%, activates key auto recovery mode. You heard that right. Activates key auto recovery mode and reduces damage taken from all attacks medium, which is 10%. So 10% from this Super Soul plus do or die, now you got 20%. Plus the potential unleashed, now you got 25%. That 25% is good. And that auto key recovery mode makes this so much better because it offers you something besides that damage reduction. It's like, hey, okay, so we're gonna give you some damage reduction, right? Not as good as Don't Think I'm the Same as Before, right? We're 5% lower than it, but the one thing that you get out of us that you can't get out of Don't Think I'm the Same as Before is key auto recover mode. And for me, this right here, it's a much better fucking Super Soul. Time to dismantle you androids and Don't Think I'm the Same as Before are two separate ends of the cloth. One offers you all of that damage reduction plus attack up, while the other one offers you, you know, a little bit that 10% damage reduction plus auto key recovery and the most disliked limit burst in the game, defense up, or otherwise super armor. But I mean, the super armor ain't that bad, in my opinion. Ain't that bad. That people will say, "Oh, you're gonna use that super armor fighting in the PvP match." Shut the fuck up. If everybody knows how to counter it by now, you can still do damage while they have that super armor up. And if you could literally burning strike, and when that burning strike hits them, that will take damage. They will feel it. When you use darkness rush, that's technically a grab. They will do the same amount of damage, like if they didn't have super armor in the first place. But you know, Just grow the fuck up, man. There's people who fucking say, wow, he's going to use super armor and attack me while using super armor. Wow, such a little bitch. Shut up. Ain't its fault because that's this fucking super souls limit burst. Now, ideally, when they came up with these limit burst ideas, they should have fucking let us pick what limit burst we want on our super souls. Personally, in my defense, I will prefer a health regen limit burst with this, or attack up. But no, since the game wants to give us the limit burst with whatever, okay then. Now, the one thing I don't understand is how do not think I'm the same as before does not have a defense up. Well, this one does, but it gives you auto key recovery mode. That's my main question. If anything, this limit burst should have attack up, and don't think I'm the same as before should have the super armor. That's honestly how I feel about it. Because I don't see none offensive about that darn super soul. Right? I don't see any like attack. Like, oh, when your health reaches 25%, it gives you keyboard or whatever. I don't see anything like that. This, on the other hand, you can obviously key auto recovery mode reduces damage taken from all attacks by 10%. If anything that should have the attack up, it should be this one, since this one has key auto recovery mode. And the fucking devs, I don't know if they really put the time process on these fucking Super Souls. I know they do, but for crying out loud, let us pick our fucking limit bursts, please. Add that in the next big op there, where we're like, oh, you can pick whatever limit burst you want. You just have to go to a TP metal shop and just buy those limit bursts. If they simply do that, you know, that would be the best update by far. But anyway, now you'll understand this. Share this video with everybody. Shoot, share this to fucking Chitchan. Share this to fucking Steve Doge. Share this to Super Saiyan Cabby, because I know he'd be blowing that fucking shit out of proportions. Share this to anyone you could see, because people deserve the fucking truth. I'm in the Namekian main, and I see this fucking big cloud train for a goddamn Super Soul that only gives you 15 seconds of 20% damage reduction, and when it's off, you lose only 5%. And it's like, cool, extra damage reduction. I mean, I like it, but fuck. Like, if that's all it's going to do, just only damage reduction, none else that I could benefit off of, just no. As in the making man who doesn't use charge, who rather get his key by just doing the simple melees, this Super Soul is so much better. If everybody as in the Namekian were to use this Super Soul right now, they will realize how useless and garbage Don't Think I'm the Same as Before is. The only time Don't Think I'm the Same as Before has ever been useful is when on a goddamn fucking Majin. A fat piece of shit. Majin. The fat male Majin. That's the only time that Super Soul is going to be useful. I don't see it being used on male Saiyans, female Saiyans, male Earthlings, female Earthlings, not even on the Frieza race CAC. And I'm like, I understand it, right? I understand it, because why the fuck do that when you could get some better Super Souls that could benefit that race? Just, I don't get it. Don't think I'm saying this before. ain't benefiting the motherfucking Namekian. Yeah, it gives you that 25%, no, that 20% damage reduction for 15 seconds. But if your health regens enough where it's out of the fucking red bar, then what the fuck is the point at that point? You're gonna lose that out. You're not gonna get that 15%, or that 15 seconds, and now you only got that 15 damage reduction, which is a 5% difference to this one, which gives you 10%, and 5% more than the other. Is it really that big of a difference? No, the fuck it ain't. So, everybody get your little nerd glasses and share this video with everybody. Because this is pure facts. Not everything I'm saying right now to you is pure facts. As a main Namekian player. So, that'll be all, y'all. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.